Yes, because the officials in the Black City would troll you and give you fake crystals. I mean, that's fair. With what you guys have gone through, that's probably fair. Do all of you accept the crystals and use them?
I do.
Yep.
62,605 experience.
62,605.
Yep. You guys split 313,025 experience from that entire encounter.
Level 10, so we need 3 levels.
That's 4 levels.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay. No one ever expected you to be good at math.
No, I saw 64,000. I forgot the other EXP we had.
Exactly.
We would probably go to again for that. Rollins maker ship and then go into that little training room again. If you don't want to like do how many weeks would this be?
A long time, but you'd have to do several fights in a row because it doesn't instant level you from where you are to where you stop. It gives you 1 level per combat. So you have to at least participate in 4.
So yeah, we could either go into that room, fight 4 monsters, or do like 8 weeks of downtime.
Alright, quick. Beat up Sir Nick. Let's take his crystal and split it.
Didn't look like he got one. So he's
So what was the decision?
I think it's fine with just downtime. I don't feel like doing 4 battles in a row.
And I need to do some spell research anyway, so I don't know that monsters will hand me spells to copy into my spell book.
alright, yeah, I'm cool with that. I just hate getting trained at the Magic Academy. There's always some weird people that get like go to jail, just get fired, or get run out of the city.
Or, and just hear me out, you've picked the weirdest profession to be. And it has nothing to do with the academy. It has everything to do with your class.
Yeah, that guy should not like guaranteed 100%. And then I don't know what happened on the second one. He just suddenly vanished.
I mean, you're not wrong. That did happen.
So the consensus is 8 weeks of downtime?
Yes, and that's what people need.
8 weeks of downtime. Alrighty.
So all we got was the XP crystals, right?
Currently. One second, I need to see what my roommate wants to order for dinner, so give me a second. Feel free to converse.
Is the energy our new admin power area, or what's the energy counter for?
Sorry, what was the question, sir?
The energy counter.
65? No.
Is that where we put the admin power at now, or is just what we do?
Oh shit, we just gained. I just gained 4 more immunities. Who can bet the first one's fucking right? No. There should be bludgeoning. See, this is the fucking weird part. So many to choose from. So I should just make myself immune to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
For all four?
Just get those fuckers out of the way. And what is the fourth one? So that's the question.
Necrotic.
That's a good one. Radiant.
Alright, so you guys have 8 weeks of downtime that you want to partake in. Is there anything you want to do before you start said downtime? Shopping, sightseeing, etc.
Probably just get my last.
That's a good choice. Okay. an interesting effect would happen. The first time you try to go to Terra, you find that you cannot enter that realm. But you continue to try.
Did I piss the guy off that I'm not even gonna flip on his thing that he now locked me out? I would spend some time to see if I can manifest what I could on Terra, and try and work that off Terra, and retry back the next day. So I guess, yes, technically I am going to try and go back, but I'm going to try and do some other stuff first and try and see if I can work that.
When you say manifest, what do you mean?
How I could
Oh, you mean tapping into the other force that you've been feeling. I'm gonna say you spend a day trying to do that, and you're come to the realization that it's possible here, but you don't quite understand how it's done. Like on Terra, it's much easier now that you got a feel for it, and it just happens. But it seems like where you're at right now, it doesn't. The force is there. It's just harder to touch. It's harder to use. Almost like there's less of it. And then when you would go back the next day, you've only really been in one place in Terra, right?
Yeah, I've never really too much.
As you warp in, so to speak, teleport, gate, etc., the various methods of plane shifting, you start falling. You have methods of flight, so you have no problem flying. The land you were originally plane shifted to, that you know about, is gone. You are now just floating in basically space. You see the planets. It's not like the whole plane was wiped out. It's just like the planetary surface you were on is gone. Yep, in various locations, but you get the feeling that it would take you a very long time to fly there. Because while you are able to fly, you realize the mechanics aren't like the material plane. It is closer. Actually, I don't know if I can say that. As the player, you would understand this. I don't know if Sai has been to the Astral Sea yet. I can't remember. Has Sai been to the Astral Sea? Or Astral Plane?
No.
Then, as you, instinctually, you stopped yourself from falling because that's just an instinct. You wouldn't want to continuously fall forever. But as you go to physically move, you find it's almost like you're stuck in a glue trap. You can't move from the spot while you're just trying to swim or fly or physically move.
I try and mimic the guy. He was creating worlds, and I try and create myself a small world I can stand
Unfortunately, your mastery over this other force isn't strong enough to do that. You know how to cast spells with it while you're in this space, but as you just try to will this minor planet, this almost really just boulder into being, nothing manifests.
So my time here will be doing that, and then jumping back.
Okay.
Still,
I will let you know when relevant things happen. Roran, anything notable for your 8 weeks, or is it all just training and montage?
No, just training.
Okay. Then you already know where to find the trainer and how to train, so your 8 weeks go by probably uneventful at this point. People are starting to realize that they all spent a lot of time going to this gauntlet and not doing their own work. And now everybody's playing catch up. The house chores that have kept getting put on the back burner are now piled up to the ceiling. I guess I'll just keep going in order. Archie. So, training montage. Roll me a D100 first, and then roll me a second D100, but I want you to call odd or even on that one.
Even.
Your dad does not show up in the next 8 weeks with any more crystals. He thinks that you have enough with what he gave you. But I am going to roll my own dice. 4 weeks into your downtime in training, Archie, there will be a knock at your door.
I'd answer.
It's a little mousy looking guy. And when I say mousy, he's actually a mouse folk. Think like creatures from Bloomsboro. He's gonna be in a nice dressed up suit, bearing emblems that you recognize as Adventurers Guild emblems. Good day, Sir Archie. Lord Archie, I'm sorry, I don't know how to address you properly.
No worries.
So, are you going to pay out for that quest that you posted, or?
Oh, I didn't realize. Yes. Did somebody get the quest?
Yes, there was a inquiry, but you're not answering your guild card, and no one's heard from you for a while.
Been a little predisposed. Yeah, I would definitely pay out. And,
All right.
I'll go pick up the crystal.
You're gonna shit yourself. This was the craziest fucking roll I've had yet for you. I don't even know what this thing could do for you, let alone what it will do for you. This is gonna hurt my head to think about. So we will get to this later. I will send you the name of it now. And you're going to recognize it. And it's fitting that you got it. I can't even begin to think of what that's going to do for you, so we will cover that later. Even above and beyond for this, so your payout was set at, if memory serves you, your payout was set at value time, like times 1.5, I think you said, just to give it a little enticing. Hang on. You need to roll a d10,000. That's not too bad. Was it this group that was asking me about guardian coins, or was it Monday?
Monday? Question mark.
Yeah, I misquoted myself on Monday. So for those who are in Monday's party, a revision: guardian coins are not worth up to 10,000 or up to 100,000. Well, actually, are up to 100,000 iridium. They're worth up to 10,000 emerald coins, which translates to roughly 100,000, 1 million iridium, etc. So just an amendment. That was that. My misquote was for emerald, and it's not iridium. So your payout, sir, is 3873 times 100 plus 1,000. 388,300 iridium.
380,800 iridium.
Yeah, I posted it in chat for you.
That's how much I need to pay, right?
Yes. Is there anything else you want to throw in?
No.
I didn't think you would, but I have to ask because that's how the rewards work. And believe it or not, that was a low roll.
I believe it.
But that's all that resolved. There wasn't much else to go on over with you, unfortunately. So 8 weeks for you. Oni, you were next on this list.
Same, just probably drawing 4 cards every 2.
This man is really trying to send himself to the Shadow Realm. 4 weeks worth of drawing. You realize that, are you doing it once a week, drawing 4, or are you drawing 4 times every day for 4 weeks?
Every 2 weeks I'm done.
Okay. I misheard you. I thought you were going to go for the next 8 weeks and draw 4 cards every day.
No.
First of all, you'd run out of cards by that point.
Yeah, I would do it for every 2 weeks.
Okay, you're good then.
So yeah, that after that it's just normal for
Okay, so that means 4 sets of 4 essentially is what you're going for. Okay, you can just message me what the results were, or if it's critical, then let me know. But so then that's Oni's 8 weeks training in cards. Topic. You got 8 weeks.
I have 8 weeks. I'm gonna learn a lot of spells. I can copy spells at an ungodly fucking rate with my little copy special abilities. So I'm probably just gonna be like sticking to vanilla for a little bit, just to have, you know, some of the classics. I've heard about people like Big B and everything, and I wanted to see what his elvish hand did. But Yeah, I just want to learn some spells, all that, and basically kind of dig into the black market of the city.
Hmm. You're spending 8 weeks leveling up, learning spells, and trying to find the black market.
Becoming, yeah, basically becoming a criminal to yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. That's an interesting thought. Odd or even high or low?
I'm gonna grim it.
Well, you were 50% successful.
Pretty high too.
I'm gonna say you don't find the black market, but in your casual or maybe even relentless pursuit of trying to find it, you actually discovered the location of the Dark Syndicate in the Black City, which eventually could lead you to the black market. And you did that through some interesting connections. You drank with a random guy one night, or rather sat there while he drank, and he got a little too drunk, and so he kind of told you some things that he shouldn't have. I gotta look up something real quick because there's actually a special thing you have to know in order to find the Dark Syndicate. It is. Tawthik is taught a very special variant of Thieves' Cant. It doesn't allow you to understand normal Thieves' Cant, because this is like the difference between. If you do Thieves' Cant, you can read this, but if you can read this, you don't necessarily know how to read Thieves' Cant. Or understand it, rather. You can now list under your spoken languages, you understand something called Darkhand. It's an incredibly complex and simplistic at the same time form of shorthand. It's simplistic because the abbreviations are like exactly what you'd expect. So if they're abbreviating one word, it's exactly as you would expect that to be abbreviated. But the part that enters complexity is it's all ciphered. So even if you know the word and you understand the abbreviation, you have to have the cipher to decode the actual message. And because you understand that, you started seeing things during your nightly walks. And you understand the Dark Syndicate's actually not that far from the Magi Assembly. There's an entrance to the main hub, right? I'm going to actually make a map marker for this. So hold on one second.
Topic's kind of laughing. He's like, oh, I just found that that memory storage upgrade that just lets me just not forget anything. So this works well.
It definitely was a good timing.
I chose tree, and tree popped up again. Am I allowed to choose it again?
Yeah, that's fine. He gets permanent bark skin, but gains vulnerability to fire damage.
Oh,
Because the other two are not ones I want.
And I'm gonna say if you pick tree again, you can actually count your base AC as 20 rather than 15. But a slight caveat. You are not just vulnerable to fire damage. The first time you take fire damage in combat, you will gain a a what do you call it, rank in debilitated.
I was saying we should make them flammable.
Oh yes, you got.
In combat, if you have to take fire damage, you stay on fire until you extinguish yourself.
Actually, I like that better. Debilitated is a little bit harsher, so we'll go with that. The first time you take fire damage in a turn, you actually catch on fire, and until that fire is put out, depending on the fire source, you will take 1d4 fire damage at the start of every round. But you have an AC of 20 plus whatever your dex is, so... Yeah, of all the cards you haven't been drawing, it wasn't dex. Oh, come on, you sure you don't want flames?
That's what I was like thinking. I was like, oh man, dude. It's funny just have flames. Because if you were to say no,
That's better than corpse.
yeah, so much more better.
Man, corpse is brutal. I told you you'd eventually draw yourself into a corner. But no, you can go ahead and take tree as long as you're okay with those modifications. Yep. Just in case I need to do it again. That is where your entrance is, Tofik.
What was that?
That is where your entrance is.
Yeah, quick question for you.
Yes, sir.
Would Thea have changed stuff?
Of course.
We can figure that out later.
Yeah, I have a fairly good idea what that'd be. But I don't know it off the top of my head at this very second. That's right, because you gain Spirit Infusion and Precise Critical. Now in your way of the blade too. Man, you got some good upgrades this time, didn't you?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Yeah. I just wasn't sure if but this would be interesting.
Actually,
I want to read through it.
you know, I have a link for you. I can get it too. But the interesting thing about your 10th level one makes it so where you don't need to use Fleshy Handle anymore. As long as you use a sword art as part of your standard attack, you can use your bonus action to make an additional attack. So it might actually free you up a slot. Fleshy Handle's nice, but couldn't hurt to have something better. But yeah, I will send you a link. I actually have the book. I might actually just have the book in general. Let me see if I can just send it to you. So this one?
Hey Archie, what's your laser damage?
It is it's 25d6.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out.
He wants to make himself immune to your beam so he can just stand there while you fucking laser everything else.
Yes, I don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about just lasering through me. Fuck you. But I did take this, just to let you know, sir.
All good.
Which is bludgeoning, piercing, slashing. So I am now immune to all base bullshit fucking people attacks.
That would have been helpful. That would have been helpful last fight.
Like I said, I wasn't being thematic.
Well, I mean, you guys still made third place. That was impressive. You guys also, that was round 15, so...
Yeah, when all my fighters went down, I'm like, I'm fucked. Because I could run around for a while and they won't hit me, but I'm gonna run out of spells.
I mean, I'm sorry, I just saw what happened to Roni. I think there's only one choice there.
Yeah. There really is only one.
You just call her?
No, he drew 2 fools and a staff, so I think he wants to go with the staff.
Do not want to lose. 2 weeks.
It's funny because the fool card in a tarot deck is not a bad thing.
No, but it's a dualitist thing.
Well,
That's why.
All the cards are.
Yeah, well, that's why in the deck of many things it represents both the fool and the jester. So one is positive, one is negative. It's supposed to represent the reason for regular and reverse, or inverse. Okay, so that's what happens for topic. Just circle back down to Psy. I don't even hear those, Psy.
That's a highly odd question. I think I appreciate you asking me.
It's unfortunately highly even. I almost said highly low. Ooh, that's actually a pretty good one to get there, Oni.
Sounds like low odds. The next low even.
Good lord, dog. Ugh. Sorry. Sorry, a dog distracted me. It reminded me why are we rolling again inside?
Trying to manipulate. I'm trying to make Terra.
Oh, right. I will say you are not successful in that regard, but you are successful in a better understanding. You understand that this force alone is not enough to have the creation you need. Whatever this extra large being is doing, it's not only using the force that you feel. There seems to be other forces that you are starting to become aware of. And I would say at this point, by the end of the 8 weeks, you were able to tap into the force outside of Terra, in terms of being able to use it to cast spells and stuff. It doesn't seem to make your spells work any differently at the moment, but at the very least, you know that if you were caught in an anti-magic field, for example, you are fairly certain this force would still work inside that field. Because what you do understand about this force as compared to the weave is that this is a higher force. And so effects produced by the lower force of weave cannot affect this force. Or rather, you could choose whether or not they affect it. So, 8 weeks goes by. You all reconvene, I assume, at some predetermined location.
Voiceless Swoop.
Sounds as good as any to me. And just to make a side comment, Archie. Oh, hey, where'd Grumpy go? You actually wouldn't have to worry about any changes because those are ones that he would accept it into his variation of it. So you can just go ahead and upgrade as normal.
it says unknown classes found. And yeah, it basically I had to manually go in and try to add in stuff, so I'm having to create everything.
You don't have to do that. What you can do is, instead of choosing classes and subclasses when you import, choose the features instead. There's another tab that says classes and subclass features, and you can just directly import the features that way.
Okay.
As long as you know what they're called, you can just pick them and put them on. They'll go on your sheet, regardless of the class. But yeah, so, and I'll try to figure out why it's doing that. It might just be that the creator of the original document finally realized that he left the original up, so he probably just removed it.
Yeah, no, it doesn't even, like, when I go to search right now with the Final Fantasy books, it doesn't even let me.
That's weird. I hope they didn't upgrade again.
They might have, because I just searched, like, Body of Steel, and it won't find anything. Unless I'm just blind, which, I mean, it's been the case before. Let's do Final Fantasy.
I didn't have a problem importing it to your sheet. We'll have to sit down later and figure out why I did that. If I can see the exact error you're getting, then maybe I can figure out what's going on.
There it is. I see. Yeah, I was in the wrong one. But I do get the error. Whatever. It worked. Thank you.
Yep. So yes, you guys coalesce, join back together, the voiceless flute. I will say by this point you guys have been paid out. I need to go actually look up what this was, so I'll have to go back to previous stream and find out. I know it was substantial, even for third place.
I think it would be the first of the year. That's true.
Yeah. Well, luckily I've been labeling the ones for the tournament as start of round, blah blah blah. Because I can always come up with a creative title, more creative title later. You haven't moved the calendar yet, have you, Grim?
I did not touch anything, sir.
All right, then I will do so. 8 weeks is 2.5 months, basically. 2, that's 6 weeks, and then 20 days. And you know what? That's probably fair. You guys took basically 2 months of downtime. 2.5 months. After having a lot of consistent... consistent fights back to back. So yeah, you coalesce. Oh, that means... you guys are ready for something I am unprepared for, but... Nevertheless, you guys will be, as you're at the voiceless flute, Bravenhold will walk in and say, the runner-ups. Good to see you. You guys had some very interesting and well-fought matches. I was proud to say that you are one of the teams that I oversee. And as it happens, you guys are ready for the next part of your trial. I mean, you guys kind of blasted past it with that tournament, but it's okay. And he'll sit down. So, have you guys had time to think about what you want the second trial, which part of the second trial you want to partake in? If you need a refresher, they were political intrigue, commanding mass amounts of people, so an army versus army type situation, or hunting a mythic beast.
easy, and then the next one gets harder, right?
Yes, they're gonna get progressively harder because your first one you did the dungeon. The second one will be harder than the first because you're technically at a higher rank. So what they'll ask you to do should be commensurate with a level 8, essentially, or a party of level 8s. And then, of course, if you do 12 as the next one, then it'll be commensurate with 12, and then 16, and then the final trial is supposed to occur when you're around level 20, but you know, that may not be the case in certain instances. But the idea is, yes, if you had saved the dungeon or if you had saved the mythic creature for last, they would have been significantly harder to do because you're higher level and they are higher level.
Does anyone do I feel like politicians do politics can be pretty hard if it's further down the line.
I think I'm an average talker. I don't think people like to talk to me though.
Arcane.
What?
That
Yeah.
says enough.
Yep.
What about topic? What about you?
What about me? What?
Are you a good talker?
No, I've never been good at talking to people. And the light that represents his eyes, just like it's almost like it shuts off, like he's closing his eyes, and he's just kind of just shaking his head ever so slightly. Just
I just want to make sure, like
what?
the politic area is gonna be kind of tough.
I'm. I have no. I don't know what to say right now, Oni. I'm out of. Hmm. So would you go with a chaos or a modify memory?
Huh? What?
Yes, I think modify memory might be much more practical. Hmm. I'm at that level where teleportation circles something.
Well, I think modify memory might help you talking to people.
And so would charm person, but that's just monstrous, my friend.
Ravenhold will look at you and go, so, would you like more time to think this over and discuss? Okay. Well, send me a message when you're ready. Good, congratulations on making 3rd place in the tournament. Or he'll get up and leave.
I can't step in his car. Right.
What was that?
I don't think he like that. Brainwashing him and like reverse his memory was the good one that he didn't want to hear. But so there's the leading the army, politician deals, and then fighting a majestical creature. Which one would y'all want to do?
Was any of them tied to a certain level?
No, whatever we pick will be made for our level.
Ooh.
The letter churches do get tougher, but with how we've been, I think we could do most of it. It's just I don't know how good we are with dealing. Gonna be able to deal with.
Well, the politics one would be the least dangerous, at least to our lives, probably. So maybe leave that one till later.
It's actually, my friend, probably the most dangerous to our lives. Untrained as we are in the undercurrents and intrigue of people who are born to that. But for me, monsters sound fun.
That was
So you
the
want to
mythic
take on
creature.
them?
Sorry, Roran.
So you wanted to take on the mythic creature?
Yeah, that would be my if that'd be my vote if we were looking for a direction.
I'd be cool with that. Get that one out of the way.
Yeah,
I'm
all
down
right.
with it. I think everyone's cool for that one. Well, once someone message him.
You would have just waited 2 minutes. That didn't go too hard.
What's up? What?
We're going mythic quest.
I see. That'll be interesting.
Yes, that said something about Joe Manganella is coming with us, which is I thought was pretty cool. Joe Manganello, he's this stupid farmer but that little fuck got some special dead guy's hand and now he's bad as fuck, I guess. I don't get it.
He walks back in because he wasn't that far away. So, a mythic creature. Then, for your level, you shall be fighting a Doulahan, or hunting a Doulahan.
Hell yeah! Alright, now raise your hand if you know who Topic.
So it's wrong.
You they don't do a Doula? Have you ever heard of a place called? Have you ever heard of a place? Yes, you do. Technically, have you heard of a place called Sleepy Hollow?
Sleepy Hall?
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow. Very, very famous play. They do it like once every at least 2 years
At a
here
tavern?
in the Sleepy Hollow. It's a location in where a horseman of a certain type was. Sorry, Doulahan is the name of a headless horseman in Gaelic, I believe.
It should be a fairly interesting fight for you, at least. This one in particular is surrounded by undead. Which obviously it itself is undead.
When you say surrounded, and I do like quotes, I'm like, what does that even mean?
Well, this particular one would be dual purpose. You were both doing this for your trial and helping the Black City with a problem. The cult of Xanathon is getting a little too strong. And so, we are sending you to kill one of its higher ranking members.
Does that start with an X or a Z?
Or Z.
Thank you.
I was going to correct myself. The green screen, once it learns something, it's kind of hard. Yes, I love you too, Pepe. Outside, yes, come on.
And obviously, being a higher ranking member of the cult, he's going to have lesser undead with him.
Ooh, he has less undead. I think we need to acquire the benefits of a cleric. Anybody can turn undead or anything like that?
I can turn undead.
Oh, then we have the benefits of, I quote again, a cleric. There's a bunch of new spells I need to look into, or what it might actually be against one of these. And Roran, I have this really cool thing. Would invisibility help you better than haste in combat? I guess it would all depends on what creature we're attacking.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I suggest you do some research. Find out what you can about Doulahan. Maybe find out a little bit more about the cult, so that you know what kind of undead they tote around. And prepare, because this will not be a walk in the park. Also, can you turn into Czar? Oh, sorry, Sai. Can you turn undead, or can you turn into undead?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I cannot turn into undead.
Okay, just checking. I know a few fringe cases that have a druid origin, but turn into undead creatures.
This beautiful cloak allows me to turn into humanoids and beasties. So if there is an undead humanoid, I might be able to. So I might be corrected but I've been looking for books, and I couldn't find any.
Very well. Just wanted to make sure. Good luck. And with that, he'll get up and walk away again. He's gonna pause at the door and look at you guys, and like wait there for a full minute before he actually leaves.
Wait, don't leave the second he starts to walk out the door.
Looks at you.
You know you now have to ask him something. You just did that to piss him off.
Isn't that what we
Archie's
were doing?
definitely
Other
not
than
the one
group?
that talk to whenever we do the dip.
True. Correct.
If anyone would like, you can make a perception check.
Actually, I would go ask him something. I would walk to him. I wouldn't have.
Okay, fair enough. Delay that perception check. Well, if it becomes relevant, I will tell you a topic.
I will.
Damn, I didn't even see it yet. Sorry, go ahead.
I would tell him that I'm basically had been like given an objective from an individual to like have a sparring match against my counterpart. And I would say it was Sai, and I would ask if he has any advice for me to be able to get on equal footing.
He looks at Sai. He looks at you. I don't even know what that is. I just know it's Sai.
Attack him when he's dead.
Based on what I see, maybe find weapons that are good against celestial beings.
I have this. I hold a prominence. Does this work, or is there something that we can do?
I'm not privy to all of Prominence's abilities. That is a state secret.
Got it. Wait, what state?
But there is it only just a friendly sparring match? Are you supposed to kill him?
I don't want to kill him, but I'm pretty sure he will try to kill me.
Then never mind. I will withdraw the thing I was thinking of telling you.
What?
Good luck. And he walks away.
No, wait. Did they have a weakness?
No. But Sai has inspired certain research and development.
What does that mean? That we found a weakness? Or you were going to share something and now you're hesitant. I'm kind of curious.
Well, because it would kill him. If you don't want to kill him, then there's no point. Because it's sort of an all or nothing. There's no middle ground with this.
I do not wish to kill him. But I do appreciate it. It's something that you guys are interested in case you need to use it against him.
Then it's not him specifically, but he is in the direct line of fire here, so. But he is one of my he's one of my supported adventurers. There is research being done into a Tune Be Gone spell. and a Tune Begone spray, and a Tune Begone paint thinner.
Well, I would use the spray if possible, so that you can't actually hit me. Outside of that, I don't think I want any of the other stuff.
Well, that's not ready yet. Only the Tune Begone is ready.
Damn it.
Hit point criteria.
For the spell, it's a certain hit point criteria. The rest of it, we don't know yet.
How much that guy heals?
Quite recently, we were put on to a certain weapon that exists. That would be given, if given to the right person, would be useful against a being like your friend.
Do you know where it is? Is it something I could use for a sparring match?
Oh yes, links. Oh. Good reference, but no, that's not quite. There's an item Link's can make a weapon. Whether he thinks you're worthy of it is another story. Now, I must be off.
I appreciate your time.
He gets like five steps down the way, and then just turns around and looks. And then keeps walking. Then stops and turns around and looks. And then keeps walking. Until he's finally out of sight.
And then he peeks his head around the corner and looks one more time.
Yep.
How have we gotten the links to this in the past? I don't remember.
I have a gate.
You do? Right. I would ask Wonder. Oh, sorry, called Roaring. Jesus Christ. If he could take me to Lynx's shop before we head out for this next quest.
Yeah, sure.
Are we all going?
Link says yes, we might as well. I'd enjoy that man's
Oh no!
little goblin so much.
Oh, this is bad.
What?
Jed, you don't remember, do you?
Remember the 5th of November? No? What am I supposed to remember?
What happened last session? Last Wednesday? At the end?
Last Wednesday, you guys were fighting a bunch of slow storms.
Yeah. You remember my cards?
I don't.
I'm now a tree.
Oh yeah, we have 2 walking tree people now.
Walking into a furnace.
Yes. We have 2 tree people now. So Oni, are you joining them?
Yeah,
You guys find yourselves in Lynx's shop through Roran's various methods of travel. The doors are closed at the moment, and there's a goblin manning the counter. I'm a goblin.
Hey, hold of it, or if just to speak with him about a weapon.
I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin.
He says Lynx is busy.
Do you have anything? Like, can he understand you? I look at the goblin.
I
He
laugh
says
and
no.
cast. I laugh and cast.
Can I understand you now?
I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin.
Nope. Okay. Can you ask
That's
him if
funny
there's
shit.
anything?
That's funny shit.
That is funny shit. I'm glad because I had already cast tongues on myself and I knew what he was saying, and I think he just said, "I'm a goblin. I'm a goblin.
Yeah,
I'm a goblin."
that's what
which
funny
is
shit.
fucking hilarious.
I figured. But Archie wouldn't know this,
No.
which makes it even better.
You,
He'll,
don't- you probably think that I'm fucking with you and didn't cast tongues on you.
he'll jump down from his stool and go into the back while you guys have your conversation. And he'll return a minute later, pushing a rusty cart with one of those domed caps that they put over food at restaurants. And he will lift the dome. You see a very past expiration date sandwich.
Oh god.
What the hell is that?
It was ham at one time. Oh, never mind. That's not ham. Ham
I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin, as he points down to the sandwich.
Oh god. We're gonna eat this?
I'm a goblin, shaking his head up and down.
Oh. Alright.
So you eat the sandwich? Con save.
Yeah, I'll try to eat the sandwich.
Con save, please.
That I can't help you. But I must tell you that somebody put
18.
jelly in the bottom of my.
It's gross. That's everything you would think you would get taste when you eat a moldy sandwich. And as you bite into the meat, it's both crunchy, chewy, and soft at the same time.
My favorite.
It's like trying to eat mashed potatoes like a hamburger, but also getting the crunch of fried chicken.
That sounds absolutely horrendous.
None of the meat, just the bones.
Exactly. And you're able to choke it down because an 18's enough. But it is definitely the foulest thing you have ever tasted, smelled, and set your eyes on. And you fought some very interesting creatures up till this point.
Cup towards you a huge cup of Irish coffee.
Eyes watering, mouth like salivating, like trying to like keep it down and like fighting every urge not to puke.
Here, wash
Archie,
it.
oh, that was rough. Like, still uneasy and unsure if he's not going to throw up, he would be like, "Why the hell did you feed me that?"
You ate it yourself, actually.
Because it bestows the gift of speaking courtesy goblin.
Holy hell, I can.
So, also known as I'm a goblin.
just saying I'm a goblin when he could actually already understand you.
No. And yes.
So, yeah.
You definitely.
You understand me. You understand me, but there are reasons for that, automaton. But I was saying, and I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin. But he did not understand I was saying I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin, I'm a goblin.
Correct. So is Lynx in?
Yes, he's in the back.
Available.
Yes, he's in the back.
If I can't walk back there, I'll burst into flames. Happen to have a heat-resistant coat that's not going to let me catch fire?
Sorry, fresh out.
Your bird?
Sorry, fresh out.
I cast fire shield on. I didn't know I can't cast fire on myself. No, can't do that.
Considering how badly I know I'll need this, I am gonna just attempt to walk. I'm gonna ask Prominence also. Can you do anything to prevent me from catching fire?
I'm not a spellcaster. And you haven't put anything in me that gives us fire resistance.
Okay. Yep.
Every 6 seconds you take 1d4 fire damage.
Fast as I can. Like, I need help.
What can I do for you?
First, I'm on fire, but there was mention that there's a weapon that would help me fighting against Sai.
Why do you want to fight Sai? As he takes a drink of a very tall glass of water that looks like it's filled to the brim with ice.
Oh god, that looks good. Can you dump some of that on me? So
You didn't answer my question, young one.
They want me to spar against him. Not by choice. Oh god, it burns.
It's not that hot in here. I'm sorry, Lynx. Would you like some coffee?
No, I'm enjoying this slushy right now as he pulls out a slushie and begins drinking.
How is that? How is that even possible? That is crazy. I'm good at stuff, but that's fucking amazing. Like, there's not even a slight like melting at the bottom of your cup.
It was Lady Time's idea.
For the love of God, will you focus on the conversation?
Oh, I'm sorry. What did you need? What did you need there, Archie?
They asked me to spar against Sai. It hurts. And oh god. Our handler mentioned there's a weapon that might help me fight against him, but I'd have to decide that if I was worthy or not to use it.
You want a weapon other than prominent.
Or if we could just make Prominence a weapon that could actually fight Sai. I don't know what this other weapon is.
It's a lance, first of all.
What lance?
The Lance of Longinus.
The hell is that?
A powerful weapon imbued with properties for harming a divine being.
Can you make it that I can insert into Prominence that does the same thing?
It's not a creature, my young friend.
Yeah, but you can make anything.
Unfortunately, I cannot. I am not the maker of prominence. Prominence is of a level of smithing that even I am not capable. If you could find the smith who made prominence, he might be able to.
Oh man. Do you know who that is?
Of course I do.
Could you tell me?
Ignis.
Who the hell is Ignis?
If you don't know, then this information won't do you any good.
Well, better question, could you send me to him and I not be on fire and die?
Considering his entire plane is fire. No.
Okay.
With the name of Ignis, meaning fire, I'm guessing there
I'm
was
on
no
fire, it's a
chance.
little hard to concentrate, I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out the door. You have ungodly amounts of money and you just could not buy a potion of fire resistance. You couldn't ask one of us to buy you a potion of fire resistance.
I asked if anybody had it.
I don't have a potion of fire resistance. I can't do anything for you. You knew you were coming here to speak to a man and you were going to catch on fire. You did nothing.
Are you gonna scold me or are you gonna help me?
No, but you're on fire. There's nothing I can do. I can tidal wave you, but that'll fuck you up.
I won't be on fire.
I can Kona cold you, and I'm pretty sure I'm not tidal waving or Kona colding you in here because that man over there drinking that's a blueberry. That's a blue raspberry, isn't it?
Yep.
That blue raspberry probably would murder me for probably putting out a fire or attempting to put out a fire, or maybe messing with one of his fire elementals or something. And I'm out the door. Have a good day.
Okay, see ya. Anything else, Archie?
Yeah, anything to help me not be on fire, and then can you send me Ignis to the plane?
There's no amount of resistance or immunity that would make you immune to that plane. It's hotter there than the heart of a star.
How about something that'll let me last a couple seconds? Before he deletes me.
I'm not sure he'd be able to hear you. You're not big enough. And he's going to project an image into your mind to give you an idea of scale.
Okay, if I... Oh god. They're so big.
Archie dies.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, the thing that there is planet Earth, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Is there... I'm just gonna pray to him. I think that's my best option at this point.
You could try.
Have a better way to connect to him?
3, 2, 1, and you just feel woozy, Archie. At this point, you have dropped to 0 HP.
Oh boy. My favorite.
I think your mythic trigger would activate now.
Yep. Have help.
I was gonna probably drag. Once he falls, I'll start dragging his ass.
I would fall and immediately come up.
Hey, you gained resistance to fire damage while you're in your mythic trigger.
I know, that's what I was. I noticed that. I was like, well, that's gonna fuck eventually. Okay.
I can stay here twice as long now.
Suggestions for getting something that can actually hurt Sai.
Like I said, the Lance of Longinus. Otherwise, you would need an enchantment specific to fighting. You see him also look at Sai. Celestials.
Do you have anything besides that spear that lets us Celestials?
Oh, that spear's not for hurting celestials. It's for hurting everything.
Oh. Is there any way to extract the? There's no way to extract the qualities of that spear, right? It would have to be Ignis that does it and puts it in an orb.
He's the only one who knows how that weapon actually works in terms of mechanically. You may understand how to get those things, but you don't know how those things are created. Only the process that made them.
Would you sell me that spear?
I mean, it's
A lot.
a legendary item. So if you've got the money for a legendary item, sure.
Right now, I do not.
Can he pat you on the shoulder? So I wish you luck.
Okay. Thank you.
And as
I need to do anything else.
as you leave, you will all just hear this kind of like whistling sound, and then sploosh. You get put out, Archie, with a very neon blue drink that is really sticky now.
Oh boy.
And it smells like burning blueberries to the rest of you.
Thanks, buddy. At least I know you care.
Did you see his straw? You see his straw? His straw had like this little scoopy spoon at the bottom of it. It's really weird. Still don't understand why 7-Eleven. It's very odd. There's an actual like the number 7.
Did you guys ever do any shopping or anything?
No. That scares me.
Anybody else need anything while they're here?
I would pray to Ignis. And we can do that afterwards.
So, Fondar, Sai, Oni, you guys need anything while you're here?
I have no at the moment. Because I will burn. I have now wood.
You're now wood.
I have a book on Terra.
Nope. I don't even have to roll. That's something that they just would not have information on.
As soon as we get there, I'll remember, oh yeah. Hey guys, I'm now a tree person. Double the tree person, which means fire hurts me way more.
What do you mean you're double the tree person?
I got the card tree twice. I have a strong AC, but fire hurts me more. Like I used to have immunity to fire. That's gone. I am now vulnerable to fire. Way vulnerable to fire.
Got a stronger AC, but I'm a tree.
He's made of ironwood.
Huh.
I have, due to my angel, celestial, integration, I have, when I attack something, I do an extra necrotic damage. Do you have an item which will allow me to do, like, extra of a different type of damage?
I get necrotic, but why necrotic? Like, you know, a lot of things are learning to like, resist necrotic. So,
Death Angel. I mean, the Afridi Bengals is always a good choice.
Say bagel.
Bengals.
Oh, bagel. I was like, what are you gonna do with a bagel? That's weird. What's this food obsession?
You got ones that don't require achievement, don't come with curses?
I could. For the price.
Buy those.
He's gonna look at you for a second. I know you, but why do I know you now?
It's the left arm. It belonged to somebody famous.
Anyway, I'll go get those bangles, and you'll walk back into the inferno.
Why did you say that, Si?
I don't know.
You don't know. Just
Maybe
you know
it's the,
things.
maybe it's my halo with the orbits
Oh.
that have been hanging on Terra, but they don't have any information on Terra. So
Oh. You stole something from Terra. You should tell him that. That's why you look familiar to. He probably had a hand in like something to do with it there. Probably made like a chisel they use or.
You stole something? Are you becoming like specialist? You become a thief?
You're not in here, you flammable fool.
He'll come back. 150,000.
Whoa. Whoa, hey. Not even a negotiation, basically, yes. He'll take it for
the
95.
negotiation was I didn't want the person.
Oh, we still got it. You had an item?
I did. Didn't you see?
No.
Yeah, I got
You
it for
said a number.
150,000.
He said a number and you accepted it. That wasn't negotiation.
I thought you said you didn't know how to talk to people.
I look at you, my visor goes dark, and I shake my head. Not you two, Si.
He'll look at one of the coins you hand him, Si. Oh, that's how I know you.
Oh. I look at the coin.
That's going to be an interesting turn of events later. As he puts it in a sack.
I almost died just now.
Well, if you require nothing else, enjoy the rest of your morning. He looks out. He looks past you bit to the window. I can never tell what time it is in here. Is it morning?
Well, that window looks like it actually just faces out a volcano or something. I don't know that you can actually see what time it is.
What, vampire?
I stopped keeping hourglasses after certain visitors came. They started doing weird shit.
I figured with your connection.
All of my hourglasses are only for some reason counting 24 hours, and it's bothering me.
Oh, she hasn't been back. Sorry, dear. I was in this mode for a while. Stuck wearing a mask and riding this stupid fucking horse. I don't know what I was doing. Oh, shit.
So I assume you're using Roaring to get back?
If you would.
Well, assuming that's the case, you guys find yourselves back in the... I assume you're sitting under the Black City Warren?
Yeah.
Find yourselves back in the Black City.
part of the chase has come, my friends. Getting to know your enemy. Did he call it a Doulahan or like the Doulahan?
Doulahan.
But yeah, I'll head. Yeah, once we're back and ready to start whatever, I'm gonna start research.
I'm gonna go with you because if you're doing research, you're gonna be in a place with books, right?
Yeah, hopefully, or scrolls and whatnot, pamphlets. Most libraries back then probably didn't look anything like libraries of today. Probably just whole sections that are just freaking scrolls. Pulling them out, trying to figure out the hell they are. They never organize these things correctly.
I would be praying to Ignis to see if I can get an answer to figure out what to do.
You feel your prayers unanswered. Anyone else going with topic or
What was talking?
Magi Assembly? Your favorite.
Hey, nothing happened during the train, so it's a good thing.
Roy, what would you like? What are you gonna do?
I guess just train.
Okay. All right. So Sai, Oni, and Toffing, you get to the Magi Assembly. I didn't do it, I tell you. It wasn't me. I'm being framed. You guys will see two Leonins in black armor dragging off a man. Oni, you'll recognize this as the teacher you just had for the last 2 weeks, or last 8 weeks.
Ask for a zone of truth, my friend. Ask for a zone of truth. They'll be able to tell you if you're lying or not.
Well, that was the guy that taught me.
Well, of course it is. You follow the god of lies, and that man is probably guilty
No,
of whatever
whoa,
he's shouting.
whoa.
What? Whoa, whoa.
I follow the god of time.
You do not.
I have yet to be corrected by anything in this world.
You just
We've
were.
corrected you all the time.
Thank you very much. I've been
Humanoid.
I've been doing. I think I've been doing it for a while.
You correct me, but not like any god has came down and corrected me. Like I haven't got corrected by any god right now.
She doesn't have time for this.
I mean, just by anything, like even like a messenger or anything, like nothing.
You enter the Magi Assembly.
Yeah.
As you do, you'll see a bunch of people talking to more Leonins, looking like they're giving like witness statements. It's there, officer. It's that one there. They're pointing to you, Oni. He was part of the con. I'll arrest him. And the guards just kind of turn and look at you.
They have no proof.
Greater invisibility.
On him or on you?
On him, you got a minute, dude. Okay, then I drop concentration.
See, the construct is in on it. Arrest him too. In fact, but his whole group must be in on it.
Just stop where you are because this is really gonna hurt if this continues. Yeah, just don't grab it.
Aren't you in the tournament?
Manhandle the tree person here, that's fine.
Who is saying that the whole group did something?
He appears to be like a half elf. On the younger side. Wearing a barrel.
Who we are? You do know who we are, right? Have you
No.
been watching the tournament?
No, you're the guys who stole my clothes. And my wallet.
I stole your clothes.
And convinced that charlatan to lie to me, telling me that it all goes on black. And we win.
Well, everybody tells you bet on black, you idiot. That's number one rule.
That's not what I'm talking about.
What are you talking
One of the Leonins will step between you and them. Apparently, this gentleman was conned by a fortune teller that told him to bet on the black chocobos for the races yesterday.
The slow ones.
Do you say like all the time?
Just one time. Specifically the third race. He said the black one would overtake all the others.
I'm guessing it didn't.
No. So this man bet his house, basically the entirety of his assets, and his own freedom in exchange for this race. So we are not holding in closely. We're not really taking it seriously. We're just bringing people along so that we can get the full story, and then we're just gonna let everyone go because there's nothing illegal that has happened here.
I was about to ask the same question. Let's say like, so if I was to give somebody betting advice and that shit went wrong, don't give betting advice to anybody at all. That is Emperor's too close.
I can't give anyone to give you advice on betting. Yeah, that would basically be liable, so I can't do that at all.
I was waiting for you to come in your own. What the fuck are we gonna use you for? How fucking good are you?
How are we gonna bend the Magi's?
None of the Magi Assembly. I need to do some research there, but we can like bet on the snail races. Those are exciting to watch. I've been there. I've spent like 3-4 hours, to get that one race done. Whew, it's
I took you up
amazing.
to I told you I went to my first teacher. He went to jail because he.
I
Didn't
know.
have
We just
contact
watched him.
info.
We just watched him get arrested just now. Wasn't that your
That's
first
my
teacher?
third one.
That's your third one. Did you see a pattern here? I bet you the second one was like murdered by somebody. They said
I
it
don't
was
know.
suicide. I
You've
know who
had
your second teacher is. I actually did. I actually was part of the investigation and looking into it. Now that you say something, he was a fortune teller.
Why did you tell me this?
I didn't realize it until just now. Huh.
Thank you, I was like, let me.
So if you'll just join us at the station so we can get this over with. They, if you go with them willingly, they're not going to take you in cuffs. Essentially, they'll just walk with you.
I'm gonna turn towards the elf and say, "I'm an angel of death. Falsely accuse me. I will find you forever."
Everybody but that guy. He wasn't in on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't fuck with that guy either.
Your passive intimidation's higher than his ability to roll.
I have to clean up. I'll be
I think he means in real life.
Yeah, yeah, there were some things going on, man, for a brief moment. Why is that a freaking word? Oh, never mind.
So while they're doing that, Archie, at this point, you're not getting any response. You almost feel like you're praying into the ether.
Gotcha. I would try to reach out to Thea then and see if he knew anybody that could direct me to actually helping me.
You want me to give you advice for a trial I gave you.
Yeah.
Your own father, maybe.
Okay. I'll try.
Otherwise, you could try hunting down. You could try finding Aikido.
Okay.
He's a rather busy man, but he'd have. If memory serves, he was a very powerful marshal. And if you really want to get spicy, you could try tracking down the being called Bubblegum. He is a terrifying entity that even I have my reservations about. He's just always smiling. Never stops. It's creepy.
Aren't you somebody that deals with like death and stuff?
Yes? What of it?
And he makes you nervous?
In my current state, yes.
Well, that's concerning.
He was strong enough to be warranted to gain the attention of my, well, let's just call him my boss, my big brother.
You have a boss.
Yes, and it was enough attention that he stopped what he was doing to investigate said being. But anyway, good luck.
Yep. Thanks. Okay, I guess I would then pray to my dad.
You already asked me.
He gave me that. But what do you know about bubblegum? What do you know about some individual named Tito?
if memory serves, Akito is the current acting authority to the Elven peoples as they rebuild and restructure from the war. He was the one who landed the killing blow on Corellian. And apparently has some sort of theme park in the northwest. Sorry, northeast. Northeast. I don't know if I've ever heard of this bubble gum. Sounds like a food.
He makes Thea nervous.
Who's Thea? We all have to remember, your character didn't meet him as Thea. You met him as the Death Guardian. You didn't get his name. He just got your party pissed him off because the other guy summoned him to fight tragedy for you.
That's right. That's right. Would RP know that Thea is
No.
the Guardian of Death?
No. Well, I mean, you know he's a death. You don't know he's the guardian of death. It's like assuming Anubis is death or Osiris, you know. There are many deaths.
I would just, I guess I would say the guy that's using me right now.
Oh. Okay. Well, he must be a pansy.
That would be a good one for lightning being struck down.
Saya's not that petty. He'll just make a note for it when he has to claim that creature's soul.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I would think you did. I guess I would, write to an individual named Akito and Bubblegum and see what happens. And if not, then I'd start trying to seek them out.
Right. We'll get back to that. Warren, while you're training, a Minotaur will approach you and ask you, you're Warren, right? You were in the Gauntlet last couple weeks, part of Team 1. Yeah, I've been sent by a concerned party. There's some strange things happening in Shademere that concerned citizens would like investigated. And we know, while you may not directly affiliate with them anymore, you have an affiliation at least, and could walk in. Is that something you and your party could look into, find out what exactly is going on there?
Yeah, I can ask them if they want to look into it.
Wonderful, wonderful. If you find any pertinent information or anything that you think is worth worrying about, just contact. Yeah, I'm sorry. His name makes me always feel weird. Contact Jimbo at the Adventures Guild, and he'll know how to get into contact with me directly.
Okay. I'd go find the others, I think.
By this time, the other two are walking out of the station. What was Sai doing during all this?
We were at the Mages Guild, right?
Right, okay.
Information on Doulahan and the cult of Xenophon. And anything they have on Terra.
They have nothing on Terra. It's almost like you're literally the first person to step foot on Terra that isn't a being of their magnitude. Aside from those, but I guess your party is the first people to step their foot on that plane. So dual hand, pretty straightforward. Undead, danger rating of 10. Highly resistant to necrotic damage. Depending on the dual hand, some of them have the ability to command undead, others have more martial-oriented abilities. But they tend to be fairly straightforward to handle. They're not an out of the ordinary undead in terms of what they can do. They're just of a higher class of undead. And the cult, you wouldn't find much in books about the cult, but asking around, you'd be informed that the cult is one of the largest, and they give you air quotes, underground associations of magical beings. They fancy themselves equals to the Lich in the North, though based upon very reliable information, they are strong, but not that strong. They would be... The heads of the cult are the most dangerous, normal, undead threat you could face. But ultimately, they are just... They just want to create more undead and eventually overthrow the North, and then eventually overthrow the world so that they can turn it into a withered wasteland of undeath and plague, and basically take Night City and expand it to the whole planet. Except the vampires of Night City do not agree with the cult, so they are not associated. Don't make that mistake.
This is all very good information. Thank you.
Oh, and also there's a debate on the dual hand on whether it's a fae or an undead.
That dual phase is good.
Correct. Based on what you see, there are two classifications of what are called dual hand, and one is fae and one is undead. They're about relatively the same strength, though. It's just what they can do is different.
Were we told where to find this Dula hand?
No, we are told to prepare ourselves. To
Do-
get
do-
ready.
Does the do you guys know any past locations of the cult?
There have never been any reports of them leaving the Black Plains. And they have been known to amass somewhere in the west.
This is great information. Do I owe you this?
Nope, this is courtesy of being a member of the Magi Assembly.
Do you have a book on planes?
What level would you like? We have the kind that you would teach children. We have the kind for...
Looking for a plane that doesn't exist, so the advanced.
Oh, you need one of those planes. Unfortunately, we don't have much information on those. There's no better coined term than the omniplanes. The omniplanes are not well known. Like, academically, we know they exist, and clearly certain creatures come from them, like the Terrans or the Ligrans that you occasionally see. But ultimately, those races have never elected to share what they know about those planes, and not too many of us from this plane have been there and come back sane enough to talk about it.
Very good. Do you have a book on the planes just below Omni?
He will thumb through what looks like some sort of giant book, which you can tell is an index. And then once he finds it, he presses his finger to it, and you see a book kind of flying through the air from somewhere in the back, and it lands itself on the desk.
How much would this be?
Rental fee is 15 iridium. And it needs to be returned within 3 days. Or else you incur a fee of 30 iridium per day.
Okay.
It'd be this point when Roran would find the other two who have just stepped out of the basically the police station.
Hey guys, apparently something's going on in Shademere. We've been asked if we could look into it.
Sounds good. The book was 15 iridium, and then for 3 days, and after that, each day is 30 iridium.
Yep. That is correct.
When do we gotta go, Rowan?
Oh, sooner the better, I guess. I wasn't told there was anything urgent, but it's current events.
I will download everyone what I learned.
The other two share what they encountered while they were in the police station. Take
What?
good enough. Good enough for me.
Something terrible happened here? I didn't get injured.
At this point, Archie, this is when you would approach after getting stonewalled several times.
Sorry, I stepped away real quick. I had a phone call for work.
Welcome back. You are just approaching the group.
I just what?
You just approach the group.
Okay. Walk up to the group. Hey, whenever you guys are, I'm good to go. Let's figure out what we're doing. Are we heading out now on the quest?
Well, we've been
Sounds
asked
like-
to look into Shademere.
Okay. Is that where we have to go for this?
I don't think this is the Doulahan quest. It's just there's something strange happening, and they know we have connections there.
Okay.
They asked us to look into.
Yeah. Let's head out then. I would unfold the cart and. Or no, I should. The cart should be by. So I select the card and tell the group to meet back here in a minute. In an hour, because it'd probably take me an hour to get everything, and then grab the chocobos and cart and head out. Assuming everybody's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
Yeah. They just
Spend
took
10.
me
I
and
spend 10 minutes before we leave and cast Rory's telepathic bond.
nice.
Telepathic link, 8 willing creatures. Tell spell and its targets can communicate telepathically to the bond, whether or not they share language. Communication is possible over any distance, though it cannot extend to other planes of existence.
So Archie, you're good to go?
Yes, I am ready to go.
I draw my weapons and charge them.
Yep. There we go.
Hang on, where you? Are you guys fighting in front of us?
Let's go.
In the middle of the city.
Yes.
I'm not, but if you're gonna fight me, go for it. I wouldn't draw my weapon.
Why? You ain't gonna hurt nobody. There's gonna be a shield around you too, and
Searching how to kill me for 2 months. You finally say you're good to go, and now you're not drawing your weapons?
It hasn't been
I haven't been
2 months.
trying to kill you. I've been trying to get equal footing. So that way we can actually have a sparring match. Because that is what Thea has asked me to do.
Oh yeah, it actually has been 2 months. Wow. God damn, those 8 weeks in the blink of an eye.
I'm looking for my city map. Hold on.
Doesn't draw his weapons, I don't think.
Get my boots.
Topic's over there trying to get you to like put your hand on your sword and pull it out. Come on, come on, just grab the handle. It's gonna be fun. Want it to be fun.
It's like only a one-time like thing, or like if you beat him once, like you can't redo it again.
I don't know how this works. I don't even know. I really don't even know what's really going on. He said something about theta, which is like the way you describe changing temperatures and stuff.
I would mention to Sai, and to prove to you, I am not trying to kill you. I was informed that there's currently research being done for spray to remove tunes.
I was
Paint-
there when our handler told you about it, and he told you Lynx would have it, and you immediately went to Lynx.
I went to look for a weapon that would allow me to fight you, not to kill you. And I only asked for all this stuff. And I asked away from you. So I don't know if you would have overheard it, because it would have been outside the tavern.
I thought it was in the hallway.
Mm. And I only asked this so I could get you the information to prepare for it in case it comes of light in the future that somebody tries to use it against you. Not because I want to hurt you.
What did you name your dragon again?
Avatar.
There.
The hell, Avatar's big.
Yep.
Like a turtle. Lava.
Yes, that has it in your mouth. It like splits open down the middle. Yeah. Meet Avatar, guys. Look at that. Very cute fella.
Oh, these guys are rude. Interesting. Anyway. Oh, yeah, I did find it. It was where it was supposed to be. Didn't expect it to be where it was supposed to be.
Where's the last place you look?
You're not wrong. This will be interesting. So, are we going to Shademere or are we having this duel?
No,
I believe she'd knew.
Very well. Wednesday. So you guys just taking the cart to get there?
Oh, there's no road, so it'd take a lot longer.
Yeah.
I can probably plane shift there. Sai, if you can take us to another plane, I can and shift us to Shade Mirror.
Yes. I will take us to the plane of water. Nice abandoned crystalline city.
It was abandoned. When you guys get there, you see a bunch of humanoid shapes.
Are we like, where do we go? Like in the middle of the city or like in the outskirts?
Is there anyone here who needs to breathe?
Oh, it's above water
Oh.
for some reason.
No, there wasn't above water on the plane of water.
This city is.
This is the intersection between the plane of air and plane of water.
So it's just air people?
Oh no, these things look to be made of pure water.
I wave. Hello.
They look at you. And it's disconcerting because they are very humanoid shaped, but they don't have eyes or a mouth, so it's just like a blank face. And so they just stare at you.
Alright, I'll plane shift us to Shade Mirror.
Okay, no one stops you.
I wonder what they were doing.
And it is this point we're going to stop for the night because I need to prepare the next part. Thank you, everybody, for coming out to stream today. If you enjoyed our content, please feel free to drop us a follow. We would really appreciate the support. And tune in Mondays and Wednesdays for our D&D content. Want to keep up with the events and extra streams? Please check out our Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date on the schedule releases and updates for the streams, including extra streams that we may not have on schedule. And if you would like to see previous content that we've done, check us out on YouTube at Epitaph of Creation. Thank you so much for coming out today, and have a good night, everybody.